What is up, Talks? So we're back here on the bike, back to reality, and I only say that, I mean, obviously I love my motorcycle and love riding the Super Duke, but this past weekend, oh, did we live it up. That's right, we went to the 2021 IMS Outdoors, otherwise known as the International Motorcycle Shows, put on by Progressive, and we were there for 2 full days, and oh my gosh, what a treat that was. We're going to talk about what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like, and just give you some of the real highlights from this year's show. And so without any further ado, that's what you came here to see. That's what we're going to talk about today. The first thing that I want to say is just flat out kudos to IMS, to Progressive, to all of those organizers of this event. Not only did I feel safe as far as the pandemic goes, but it was also just an all-around great event, organized. There was a little snafu on day one when they didn't open the gate until like 1 o'clock exactly on Friday when the show was supposed to open, so it backed up traffic a little bit. But other than that, I mean, as far as I could tell, the event went off really well. Lots of vendors, lots of things to do. I mean, we'll talk more about that here in a second, but just big, gigantic hats off to IMS this year. We had some pretty good weather on Friday, and then some little bit warmer weather on Saturday. Enjoyed a little bit of time with the missus, and she even went out of her comfort zone to take step one. That's right, and we'll get to that as well. So let's talk about what I liked, or you know, maybe we can call it the pros of the event. Oh my gosh, this on-ramp is the worst. So let's talk about the pros of the event. First of all, because it was all outdoors, you got to see each of these bikes, each of these machines. They had, Kawasaki also had their power sports vehicles out there, and even you could actually test ride some of those. I didn't end up doing that just because for the amount of time that I was there, I wanted to do as many test rides on motorcycles that I could. So you got to see all of these machines in their natural environment, not the way that dealers want you to see them under the lights of the like the studio lights of their showroom floor. No, these bikes were out there in the sun, or in the shade if you were under a tent, but they were there in natural light, the way that you're going to see your motorcycle when you go out and ride it. So that I thought was really nice. The other thing that was nice about having the whole thing outdoors was that when you test rode a motorcycle or a certain brand, all of their bikes, everything that they were there to show off was also right there where you were test riding. So it wasn't like, at least the event that I've been to before, the typical IMS, where you would have this test ride area outside, and then if you wanted to look at display motorcycles or upcoming bikes, then you'd have to head on to another section of the event. No, it was all in one place, and for me that was big because I spent so much time, I would say like 95% of the time, test riding bikes, and so having those things there in the same area made it so that I could do both things without kind of like having to choose, which one do I want to do more. It was all there in one place, so that was really nice about this event outdoors. So another one of the big things that I appreciated about this event was KTM. That's right, my brand KTM was there in full force. They did have a 1290 Super Duke, and I didn't ride it just because I've ridden the 1290. I mean, not the newest one, but I got a chance to ride a couple of other models that KTM had there, and just the fact that they were there at the event, and they had test rides going, some great representation. I think every vendor, every brand did really well in representing themselves. Great service. People that were there were eager to answer your questions. I mean, they're there to sell you stuff, right? Essentially. So I mean, it's their job. But at the same time, you know, I can't say the same thing when I went to the 2019 event. You know, there might be an additional, you know, like boost of enthusiasm just because of the fact that people have been cooped up. You know, was the first event that they were holding, or, you know, this wasn't the first location. This was actually one of their last stops. But, you know, they're excited to be out. They're excited to be doing these things again. And so it kind of felt that way in the air. You know, everyone was just and had an overall positive attitude. Even the people that were in attendance seemed to be in a better mood. You know, maybe it was the sun, I don't know. But you know, instead of being inside in an air-conditioned building, there was just a buzz about the day, and it was just cool. Okay, so those are the things, my positive, the great things that I loved about the IMS this year. Now let's talk about some of the things that I didn't like so much, and I think maybe could be tweaked if they're gonna do an outdoor event again. I'm guessing not, just because, you know, it is nice to be in an air-conditioned building. We did have nice weather where we were, but I can see there being events in other areas where it's not so nice. So let's talk about the things that I think could be changed, or definitely that I didn't like so bad. So first off was the weather, right? We already talked about that. Second off, as much as I loved seeing those motorcycles out in the sun and outside and right there where I could see them, there's something about like studio lighting, right? Prepared lighting, prepared displays that they can put up. I don't know, there's something about like the showroom glitz and glamour that they can put a motorcycle. Oh, I don't want to be behind this garbage truck. They can put a bike out there and kind of highlight its features just by the lighting. And so, you know, as much as a pro as it was to see the bikes in their natural habitat, I just like seeing those studio floor lighting and excuse me, the dealership floor lighting. You know, there's something about that. So, you know, pro and con. As much as I appreciated the fact that KTM was there, one of the two of the big brands that I was really looking forward to test riding and to at least seeing was BMW. That's one, and two was Triumph. Now Triumph, I guess, has been around in the IMS, and it was maybe Northern California was the only stop that they weren't making. So I was bummed out that A, that Triumph wasn't there, B, that I was really hoping to ride the Rocket 3 and the Trident. Those were two of my, you know, most looking forward to opportunities to test ride motorcycles of the day would have been those two motorcycles, and neither of those were there to be had. You know, I would have loved to have seen the M1000RR, the new BMW race ready motorcycle that they've just released, that just unveiled. So you know, as much as I enjoyed the event and loved seeing the bikes that were available, it was a little bit of a downer not to have BMW, and especially Triumph there. Was really looking forward to that, so kind of a bummer. Hopefully we'll still get a chance to ride the Trident, and we'll still get a chance to ride the Rocket 3 someday, but it just wasn't at this event. And the last thing that was not only was this a disappointment, but it was also the fact that it was such a freaking tease, was the Sportster S. Now, I just put a video out last week about the Sportster S, how my feelings about it, about the future of Harley-Davidson. The Sportster S, they had like 4 or 5 of them out there on display. You could sit on them. I believe someone even started one up, but it was not available to ride. Now, it's fine, like that's their choice, but the thing is that you could go up to the little sign-in to sign up for a bike, and the Sportster S was on the sign-up. So I don't know if maybe they were considering, or they're just getting ready for it to be available to ride at demo days at dealers, but it wasn't available to ride at this event, and it was just a huge tease. And I literally ran up to the Harley test rides like a little fanboy, and was like pushing buttons like, you know, just mashing buttons like, why isn't this letting me sign up for the sports dress? And that's why. So, you know, I personally think this is my, this is marketing talk coming at you right here. Let us ride it. Let the word of mouth and the hype be built by the riders. I mean, you know, it's the brand's job to get us excited about this bike, and I am excited about this bike. But guess what? I would have been even more excited, and there would have been even more buzz if you had people gushing about the motorcycle. And you know, I'm not going to say that I would have, because I don't know what it feels like, but I've ridden the Pan America, which has the same platform, the 1250 Revolution Max, and I can only imagine how fun it would have been to ride the sports dress. But again, only in my dreams, only in my imagination did I go there. It was not there at the IMS, and that's the last thing I wanted to talk about. So guys, if you have questions about the IMS, I think it only has a couple more stops, so by the time you watch this video, you know, it's not going to do you much good. But at this point, I want to show you guys some of the highlights from the show that I haven't already shown you throughout the video. And also at the end of the video, stay tuned, because you will see a preview of all the motorcycles that I was able to test ride. And you will be seeing these videos of my test rides on these bikes in the coming weeks. I'm going to do my best to get at least one out a week, and if not more. The problem is that my schedule is so impacted right now, and so you're just gonna have to be patient. But just know that every bike that I show here at the end of the video is going to have a very own video of its own, of the whole test ride and the whole 9 yards. So guys, if again, leave your questions down there in the comments. If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button. And before I tell you to hit that subscribe button, which you should either way, check out these highlights. And guys, if you're out there riding, please be safe, be kind to one another. My name is Eric, I'm that one guy, and I am out. Enjoy.
Right foot rear brake.